Imagine a ship so luxurious it was deemed unsinkable. But what if it did sink? What if that ship was the Titanic? This isn't just a tale of grandeur and opulence, it's a story that resonates with the very essence of human ambition and hubris. The Titanic, a symbol of luxury and human ingenuity, was believed to be invincible until one fateful night when it met its tragic end. This is the story of the Titanic, the sunken icon of luxury. Growing up, we heard many stories of the Titanic. A ship, a marvel, a testament to human ingenuity, born from the ambitious minds of the Edwardian era. Its construction was a spectacle in itself. The Titanic was conceived in the bustling shipyards of Harland and Wolff in Belfast, Northern Ireland. A project that took 3 years, and the relentless work of 15,000 men to bring to life. The Titanic was a symbol of luxury and grandeur, a floating palace. It was the largest ship afloat at the time, stretching nearly 900 feet from bow to stern, and standing taller than most city buildings at over 100 feet from keel to bridge. The ship was designed to impress, boasting 4 funnels, although only 3 were functional. The 4th was added purely for aesthetic appeal. Inside, the Titanic was just as impressive. It boasted lavish interiors that rivaled the most opulent hotels of the era. There were sumptuous suites for the wealthy, a grand staircase that was a marvel of craftsmanship, and amenities such as a gymnasium, a swimming pool, and even a Turkish bath. But it wasn't just the Titanic's size and luxury that set it apart. It was also a marvel of technology. It was equipped with the most advanced maritime technology of the time, including a sophisticated system of watertight compartments that were believed to make the ship virtually unsinkable. The Titanic's owner, J. Bruce Ismay, famously boasted about this feature, arrogantly claiming that even God himself could not sink the ship. A claim that we now know was filled with hubris and a tragic foreshadowing of what was to come. In all its grandeur and technological prowess, the Titanic was more than just a ship. It was a symbol of human ambition and the belief in progress. It embodied the spirit of an era that believed it could conquer nature, that it could build something so powerful, so grand, so luxurious that it was invincible. Little did they know that this marvel would soon turn into a disaster. On April 10, 1912, the Titanic embarked on its maiden voyage. A marvel of engineering and luxury, she set sail from Southampton, England, carrying the dreams and aspirations of more than 2,000 passengers and crew. The ship was a reflection of the society of the time, a microcosm of the early 20th century, with its class divisions and social stratification. Aboard the Titanic was a diverse group of people, each with their own story. The passenger list was a veritable who's who of the era's upper crust, including prominent businessmen, dignitaries, and socialites. In the first-class compartments, the atmosphere was one of indulgence and grandeur. Lavish parties, sumptuous meals, and sophisticated conversations filled the air, creating an illusion of a floating paradise. But the Titanic was more than just a playground for the elite. It also carried hundreds of immigrants from across Europe, each seeking a new life in the promising land of America. They resided in the third-class compartments, their dreams and hopes as vast as the ocean they were crossing. The atmosphere aboard the ship was electric with anticipation and excitement. Everyone, from the wealthiest magnate to the humblest laborer, was looking forward to what lay ahead. The Titanic was not just a ship, it was a symbol of human ambition and progress, a testament to mankind's triumph over nature. As the Titanic sailed further into the Atlantic, the festivities continued. Little did they know their joy and laughter echoed into an abyss of irony. The ship, dubbed unsinkable by its creators, was sailing towards a destiny that would shatter this illusion and etch its name into the annals of history, not as a symbol of triumph, but as a tragic reminder of human overconfidence and the relentless power of nature. 4 days into the journey, the unsinkable met the unthinkable. Their hopes and dreams, their stories, and their lives were about to be irrevocably altered. The Titanic, the sunken icon of luxury, was about to meet its tragic end. On the night of April 14th, an iceberg appeared in the ship's path. This chilling reality, a colossal mass of ice, loomed ominously in the dark, its icy peaks glinting beneath the moonlit sky. It was a sight that would soon spell doom for the Titanic, the floating palace of dreams. The collision was inevitable. Despite the crew's desperate attempts to steer clear, the ship grazed the iceberg, its steel skin torn open by the ice's unyielding grip. The sound echoed through the night, a grating symphony of metal against ice that sent chills down the spines of those who heard it. In the immediate aftermath, an eerie silence fell upon the ship. The grandeur of the Titanic was punctured, its invincibility shattered. But the reality of the situation was yet to sink in. Many passengers ensconced in their luxurious surroundings remained blissfully unaware of the impending disaster. The crew, however, grasped the severity of the situation. They sprang into action, their faces etched with a grim determination. Frantic messages were sent out into the ether, cries for help that echoed across the vast, indifferent ocean. The lifeboats, woefully inadequate in number, were hastily prepared, a stark reminder of the hubris that had overlooked such a crucial safety measure. But as the freezing waters of the North Atlantic began to flood the lower compartments, the fate of the Titanic was sealed. The ship, once a symbol of mankind's triumph over nature, was now at the mercy of the very elements it had sought to conquer. The band played on, a haunting melody that echoed through the ship's opulent halls, an attempt to calm the growing panic. The clock ticked away, each second bringing the ship closer to its icy grave. Passengers and crew alike faced an unimaginable ordeal, a testament to the frailty of human life in the face of nature's might. In less than 3 hours, the Titanic was lost to the icy depths. A tragic end to a journey that had begun with such promise. A stark reminder of the impermanence of human achievements and the indomitable power of nature. As the Titanic sank, a desperate struggle for survival unfolded. The sinking of this luxury liner, once thought to be invincible, turned the ship into a chaotic scramble of human desperation and courage. In the early hours of April 15, 1912, the Titanic's crew were faced with the unthinkable task of evacuating over 2,200 passengers and crew. Tragically, the ship was equipped with lifeboats capable of carrying only about half that number. The ship's officers, following the maritime tradition of women and children first, began to load the lifeboats. The first few lifeboats were launched far from their full capacity, a decision that would later be heavily scrutinized. As the ship's tilt became more pronounced, the launching of lifeboats became increasingly difficult, and the situation grew more desperate. Amidst the chaos, a few individuals rose to the occasion. Margaret Brown, later known as the unsinkable Molly Brown, took charge of Lifeboat 6, encouraging the women to row and keep spirits high. J. Bruce Ismay, the managing director of the White Star Line, survived the disaster, but his decision to board a lifeboat while many were still on the ship tarnished his reputation forever. As the ship's band played on in an attempt to keep spirits calm, many of the passengers and crew found themselves plunged into the icy waters of the North Atlantic. The water was lethally cold, and most of those who ended up there succumbed to hypothermia within minutes. Yet, amidst the tragedy, there were tales of resilience and survival. Harold Bride, the junior wireless operator, clung to an overturned lifeboat until being rescued. Charles Juin, the ship's chief baker, supposedly fortified himself with whiskey and treaded water for 2 hours before being rescued. The Carpathia, a ship that had received Titanic's distress call, arrived at the scene around 4 hours after the sinking. They were able to rescue over 700 survivors from the lifeboats. The rest, over 1,500 passengers and crew, were lost to the sea. The aftermath of the Titanic's sinking was a time of mourning and reckoning. The lack of lifeboats, the ship's high speed in a dangerous area, and the disregard for ice warnings were all scrutinized in subsequent inquiries. The sinking of the Titanic was not just a maritime disaster, it was a human tragedy on an enormous scale. It was a tragic reminder of the cost of hubris, of the perils of overconfidence and the belief in technological invincibility. More than 1,500 lives were lost that night, marking one of the deadliest peacetime maritime disasters in history. The Titanic, the sunken icon of luxury, became a symbol of human vulnerability and the relentless power of nature. For decades, the Titanic lay undisturbed on the ocean floor. It rested in a watery grave, a ghostly monument to human hubris, ambition and tragedy. It wasn't until September of 1985 that the wreckage was finally discovered, a significant breakthrough in maritime archaeology. The man behind this discovery was Robert Ballard, an oceanographer and former United States Navy officer. He, along with his team, located the ship's remains around 2.5 miles beneath the surface of the North Atlantic Ocean. This was no small feat considering the vastness of the ocean and the limited technology of the time. The exploration of the wreckage provided a wealth of information. It confirmed initial reports of the ship breaking in two before sinking. The bow and the stern lay nearly 2,000 feet apart, the debris field between them painting a vivid picture of the ship's final moments. Personal effects, china from the dining room, pieces of the ship's fittings, all were scattered across the ocean floor, a haunting testament to the lives abruptly ended that fateful night. Subsequent explorations have only added to our understanding of the sinking. High-resolution images and advanced 3D mapping have given us an unprecedented look at the Titanic as it rests now, slowly being consumed by the sea. We've seen the grand staircase, once a symbol of the ship's luxury, now just a corroded skeleton. The ship's telegraph, its final distress signal, still etched into the rusted dial. These explorations have also sparked debates about conservation and respect for the site. After all, the Titanic is not just a wreck. It's a grave site, a place where over 1,500 people lost their lives. As we continue to study it, we must do so with the utmost respect for those who perished. Even in its ruin, the Titanic continues to captivate. Its wreckage, a haunting reminder of the limits of human ambition, continues to teach us lessons about humility, respect for nature, and the impermanence of even our grandest creations. For as long as it remains on the ocean floor, the Titanic will continue to tell its story. The Titanic's story is more than a tale of disaster. Indeed, its legacy has reverberated through the corridors of time, leaving an indelible mark on history. The sinking of the Titanic was a tragedy that shook the world to its core, and its aftermath was far-reaching, instigating changes in maritime safety regulations that continue to influence the way we navigate the seas today. In the wake of the disaster, it became painfully clear that there were gross inadequacies in the safety measures aboard ships. The Titanic, despite its grandeur and claims of being unsinkable, was ill-equipped to deal with the disaster it faced. It carried lifeboats sufficient only for half of its passengers, a fact that starkly highlighted the need for better safety provisions. This led to the convening of the First International Convention for Safety of Life at Sea in London in 1919. The convention resulted in a treaty that required passenger ships to carry enough lifeboats for everyone on board, mandated regular lifeboat drills, and established a patrol to monitor icebergs and provide timely warnings to ships. These measures were a direct response to the Titanic disaster and have since saved countless lives, but the impact of the Titanic extends beyond maritime safety. The ship has seeped into our cultural consciousness, becoming a symbol of human ambition and its potential for catastrophe. The Titanic, in all its opulence and grandeur, was a manifestation of mankind's belief in its invincibility, a belief that was shattered on that fateful night in April 1912. The story of the Titanic continues to captivate us 100 years later. It has inspired countless books, plays, and films, the most famous of which is James Cameron's 1997 blockbuster, Titanic. The film not only brought the story of the Titanic to a new generation but also underscored the timeless allure of the ship and its tragic end. The Titanic has also become a metaphor for the perils of hubris. The ship's owner, J. Bruce Ismay, was reported to have boasted that even God could not sink the ship. This statement, whether true or apocryphal, has come to symbolize the arrogance of man in the face of nature's might. It's a reminder that no matter how advanced we become, how confident in our abilities, we are ultimately at the mercy of the natural world. The Titanic's end serves as a poignant lesson about the dangers of overconfidence and the folly of underestimating the power of nature. The Titanic also serves as a testament to the human spirit. The stories of bravery and sacrifice that emerged from the disaster, from the orchestra that played as the ship sank to the countless acts of selflessness by passengers and crew, are a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity in the face of adversity. Today, the wreckage of the Titanic lies at the bottom of the North Atlantic, a haunting reminder of a bygone era of luxury and a monument to human hubris. Yet, even in its ruined state, the Titanic continues to fascinate us, a testament to its enduring legacy. The Titanic, once an icon of luxury, now serves as a poignant reminder of human hubris and the power of nature.